So I mentioned Teilhard briefly. Teilhard, as a scientist, a paleontologist, really saw, so by evolution, we mean that this universe, this is from the point of science, the universe has a history of about 13.7 billion years old. And that really just, I mean, that is sort of a fact of science today. We don't know how it began, what that Big Bang really was, what that beginning is, but we know it comes into being. And it begins as a very small, this universe begins almost as an infinitesimally minute something. And that something, from the very beginning, and here's what I find so amazing, but very beginning, it's governed by a force of expansion, it rapidly inflates, and attraction. These things, quarks, leptons, things come together to form molecules, and so we have expansion. And so what Teilhard spoke of evolution as the unfolding of life according to what he called convergence. So things, as they expand, they converge, they come together, and as they come together, they form larger entities and they diverge. So converge, diverge. Yes, Bill?
You know, maybe think about something that I wrestle with sometimes, and you know I'm a fan of Teilhard. Does he allow for anything, for any divine mysteries?
Oh, totally. The whole thing is divine. So that's what I'm going to say.
No, I mean the mystery.
Yeah, the mystery, yes.
Because the thing I wrestle with is the singularity. Okay, because we are creatures of time.
Yes.
We have a past, we have a future, we have a present. God only lives in the present. And he views everything in a panorama.
Yes.
From beginning to end, and he's totally present in all of it. And my question is, how, when, and why did he initiate the Big Bang and eliminate the singularity?
Yes, that's a whole different question. Yeah. I have all sorts of ideas of that, but let's stick with Marie's. For sake of time. It's a good one. I'd love to take you up on that. In fact, okay, put that aside. Let's go back to the meaning of Christ in an evolutionary universe. What Teilhard recognized is something that's right in the Franciscan tradition. And it's something I've spoken on before to some groups. Why did Jesus Christ come? And our traditional Catholic answer is because of sin. And in the Middle Ages, they said, if Adam did not sin, Christ would not have come. Duns Scotus, a Franciscan theologian, said, are you saying that Christ came because of a defect in creation, sin? And he said, no, God is love. And from all eternity, God willed to love an other, a finite other, in a personal way, and that is the Christ. And so Christ is first in God's intention to love, and therefore God's intention to create, which led Teilhard to see that the whole evolutionary universe is, let's just say, made for Christ. The whole thing is made for union in love, in a personal way. So he sees all of, even material, what we would call material creation. The whole physical creation is the unfolding of Christ. Everything is Word made flesh, all along the way. Every quark, every lepton, everything that exists, every star. And what Teilhard says is, you know, that whole evolutionary creation, you might say, bursts forth in the person of Jesus of Nazareth. Sort of a new Big Bang in history is Jesus. And now we can see in Jesus, you might say, this revealed presence of God, what this universe is about. Now the way, you might say, is made known to us. But evolution continues in and through us. We are in evolution, whether or not we want to be there. And all you have to do is look at what's happening to us. And that's what Teilhard, you might say, caution, you know, that's where he said, wait, what are you doing as Christians? The whole, you know, the whole of Christianity, the whole universe is oriented to Christ. The whole thing is meant to be the fullness of God, all in all. And Christians have the responsibility to help make that happen. But he says, if we think that we're just passing through this earth and we're on our way to heaven, we're going to a better world, because that's how many people still talk. I'm going to die, but I'm going to a better world than this one. Oh, okay, let us know when you get there. You know, that this world just has minimal significance. But what Teilhard said is, no. This universe, this universe is loved from all eternity by God to be the Christ. Now, don't ask me about other universes. That is another question, but it always comes up. So, Marie, to go back to your question, creation is not a background for us. We are children, right? We know this. We are children of the universe. It is all holy. Do we live like that? Do we think like that? No, because I think we've become so disconnected in our lives. But I think what Teilhard calls us to is to find that, first of all, to find the Christ in our lives as that love incarnate. And then to connect our lives with the greater whole. Now, he saw technology is to lead us to a new unity. That's another discussion. But what Teilhard says is that evolution should move us toward more being, deepened being. Are we becoming more human, more connected, more in love? You know, and he says when we do that, the Christ then becomes more truly alive at the heart of creation. But because we live unconsciously and otherworldly, we see things falling apart. And in my view, I say Christ is being crucified over and over and over again. Jesus cannot be raised from the dead because we will not allow Jesus to be raised from the dead in our own lives. So I don't know if that answers your question, but the emerging Christ does have